be on the lookout. And the next closest thing I can talk about is October. We're going to be at the Crossroads Comedy Festival in Indianapolis doing the show there.
Oh, cool. That's real good.
So that's, yeah.
So, what number are you guys on your podcast now? How many episodes deep are you? You've been doing this for a while now.
44?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I want to say 44. See, the funny thing of the history of our podcast is I met Greg last year.
Mm-hmm.
Before that, again, I'm lazy. I've always been lazy. I have this podcast, but it wasn't. I didn't take it seriously. I wasn't realizing like how it could actually help my career. I was just like, oh, I'll just do it. I put no time into it, no like real value into it. It was just a shit show. I took a large hiatus because I got married and stuff, so I had to take a break. I was like, hey, you know what? Maybe I should start this podcast up again, but like take it seriously this time instead of just half-assing it. And I met Greg. I invited him on the show. We just really clicked, and I asked him, like, hey, you want to be my permanent co-host? He was like, fuck yeah. And ever since we both started together, our show really took off.
Yeah, I've only listened to about 1.5 of them, unfortunately. But it sounds like you guys have a nice little, differing opinions and interests, which allows you guys to kind of keep moving on and relate to your guests. It's real nice.
Yeah, people always tell us, like, you guys are so different, but you mesh well so well together. And that's what I think it is. I think it's like, the thing is, we both are, at our core, comic book fans, movie fans, like, we both love that stuff. But I'm more of the jockey athletic guy. He's more of the, reserved, antique guy. Like, he likes the older, like, 40s horror movies and stuff like that. And it's just this weird dynamic, but it works so well, And we're both comics, so that always helps,
Yeah, absolutely.
Definitely helps you both be very funny on the podcast, for sure. So, can I ask you why did you decide to start the podcast? Like, what was your inspiration for, what did you want to get out there? Was it just, I want to tell jokes and put them on the internet? Or was it more like, I want to meet people? What was your impetus?
At first, it was purely just to do it. Again, wasn't taking it seriously. When I realized, I could really help out my career stupid, I should probably, put a little more attention to this. Then I started doing it for a lot of the reasons you just said. Promote ourselves, really work our show, really wanting to put our show out there. I love meeting all the people we talk to. Like, it's so fun. Yeah. I mean, for people who don't know who we are, listening to your show right now, we have on, the name of our show is Nerds with Words. Mm-hmm. And people read the title and they go, oh, it's a comic book show. Like, it's the furthest thing from that. We just call it Nerds with Words because it's catchy, number one. Number two, we are both nerds and we like to talk, so we thought it's a good name, So so we stuck with it. But we talk to actors, authors, astrophysicists, scientists, doctors, professors, MMA fighters, because I used to fight when amateur when I was younger.
Oh.
I have that attachment to MMA guys. We have so many different guests on, other podcast hosts, comics, obviously, because we both know, about 50 cajillion comics each. So we were never at the empty there. We talk to everyone. We don't pigeonhole ourselves, which I think is people like, because they might be like, I'm not super into MMA, but who's on this week? Oh, an author of a graphic novel? Yeah, I'm in. I like reading.
Right.
We run the gamut. Like, we just have a huge amalgam of guests, and I just love talking to different people, hearing different opinions, having great discussions. It's fun. It's really fun.
Yeah, I have enjoyed it myself as we've been doing it. That's really great. Now, as far as I know that Patrick asked about touring. You were talking about touring with the podcast. Did you talk about touring with you as a stand-up, or have you and or Greg gone out to do that to get out?
We're not. Again, we're not headliners, so it's way harder to do that.
Sure.
But we're always doing clubs or rooms or whatever venues all the time. But it's more East Coast local stuff. We're not going to Minnesota, you know?
Yeah.
Now, for the show, we're getting to that point where we can do that with our podcast. But as far as individual stuff goes, we have stuff in the works for individual shows that we're going to be doing, but also together, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So, all right, like I think I can talk about this. If not, I'm gonna get a nasty text message.
It's okay. This might not come out for a couple of months, so you got some buffer time.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. The part of the podcast network we're part of is the BS Podcast Network, and on this network there are a lot of shows, and a lot of these shows are also comics. And I personally know a lot of these comics.
Right.
And Greg does too. Like, I mean, like, we're friends. We do shows together. I know them. They all live kind of in the area. We're talking about doing a BS Podcast Network comedy show with all the comedians from the podcast network.
Oh, yeah.
That's right.
So that's stuff that we're going to look to be doing soon. Again, there's a lot of things in the works that just, you know, it's the details that aren't finally hammered out yet, and that always seems to be the holdup on all this stuff.
Yeah.
You know?
Oh, yeah.
This is the fine print.
Those lawyers, man.
You gotta find one person who wants to do the producing. The person who doesn't mind making the 27 scheduling phone calls and being like, "Can you do it now?
Yeah.
Can you do it then? What about this place?"
That's not me. I'm trying to get other people to do that.
Yeah, exactly. No, that's not my style either.
Oh, I love that actually.
Yeah. Thank goodness Amy does.
I do that stuff. I like that stuff. It's real fun for me.
Oh, man, you want to manage us?
From Texas? I don't know. I mean, I don't know how that would work. Maybe.
I don't give a shit. I'm sick of doing it myself. I'm over it.
Right? Oh, man. Oof. Yeah, there's a lot of legwork to getting yourself out there in this world, especially with there being so many comedians and stuff like that. I mean, comedy's so huge these days. There's such an oversaturation sometimes of comedians. Sometimes I think, oh man, I'm just yelling into the dark void. But then I heard a comedian actually describe doing stand-up that way. So I was like, that's pretty much the same. I've either got a microphone and I'm on a stage, or I got a microphone and I'm sitting in the studio looking at Patrick. So it's pretty much the same.
Aww.
It really is. It's hard. It's hard, but it's fun. I love it. I love it so much.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a great way to communicate with people for sure. Oh, wild. So, tell me, what's your as far as your like, what? I know that you're working on like a comedy event right now, but what's your sort of next dream that you're working on? If you had, you know, like a big overarching goal or something like that, what do you think that'd be? Some huge thing that's unattainable right now, 10, 15 years in the future.
I guess nationally headlining would be amazing.
Yeah.
Also, I mean, it's far out, 15 years, but
yeah, you never know.
But I think our immediate goals are to really just take our show live across the country and do that.
Nice.
That's our immediate goals, yeah.
Your episodes are not live right now, right?
Yeah, we record ours and then we put them out. We don't do it live.
Okay, yeah, right on. Interesting. Yeah. My husband does a podcast called Dudes and Beer, and they go live via the Spreaker app. So that's a helpful way to get you to go live. It takes away a lot of the worry and the guesswork from being able to go live. It seems like a really difficult thing to do, but they have it all set up for you. You just hit go live, and then you do.
Right.
And then whatever you say out of your microphone.
The funny thing is too is like we don't edit the podcast like at all. Like we don't cut things out. We don't put things in. It's just it's more of a it's more of a pain in the ass. Like it's really just us now. It's just because it doesn't really matter to us, you know. Like we put it out, and then we record it and then we put it out. But we also record episodes in advance sometimes too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So we can't always go. We usually can't go live for that matter.
Yeah.
Because we release them every Sunday, and sometimes we'll do 2-3 episodes in a day. That's like a 7-8 hour day.
Yeah.
So most of our podcasts are 1.5 to 2.5 hours.
Yeah.
So going live, it doesn't make sense for us. There's no reason for us to do it.
Yeah, if you were, my husband's thing has a lot to do with current events. So like they're talking about, you know, this major thing that happened today. Let's talk about it. So that's generally what their topic is.
I listen to your husband's podcast. I like it.
Oh yeah, that's right. I forgot you guys talked as well.
Yeah.
Funny.
Yeah.
Good old Twitter, making the world small.
Yeah, the good old Twitter said no one ever.
I actually really love Twitter.
It gives me such anxiety when I post something.
I've had such nice interactions on Twitter. I've met nice people. I read people saying that they have horrible times. And you know what? I hear people saying that they have horrible times in real life. Like that people are rude to them or say things to them. And I just, listen, Patrick, I'm real charmed, and my life is real nice, and people are generally nice to me, so that's why I like it.
I say dumb stuff a lot, and that's then put on the internet forever, so...
Usually by me as a, like, listen to this Patrick quote from the podcast, and then I put it in the post.
Yeah, that's my main problem with Twitter.
I love Twitter, too, but Twitter's like if it was a vaccine for cancer, but then that vaccine gave you AIDS. It's like, hey, we cured the cancer, but now you have AIDS. It's like, all right, so it's half good. Like, you know, that's what all social media is. It's such a good and bad, you know, thing.
That's so funny. Oh my God. It's like you got out of Facebook, but now you got Twitter to deal with. Oh my God.
Yeah. So, but you know, Twitter has helped us a lot.
Mm-hmm.
I would say that the two biggest things that helped our podcast was Twitter and our individual stand-up stuff, because we talk to people, we spread out the word.
Right.
Those two things really help, and I think if you have any forum, again, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, whatever the fuck it is, stand outside on a soapbox in the middle of your town and yell it. People will listen and people will tune in if they like it, you know, and that's all that you could ask for.
Yeah, absolutely. Wild. Pretty great. So, as far as comedy goes, what is your, how did you get started? What was your, like, beginnings? Were you in high school doing it, or, I know that you were a policeman, but, you know, you said you were doing comedy even during that time.
Yeah, I had a weird ride into comedy. I was always a giant fan of stand-up comedy. I mean, in high school, yes, I would listen, to all the guys I grew up idolizing, like Jim Norton, Bill Burr, Louis C.K., those guys, Robert Kelly, Patrice O'Neal, the late great Patrice O'Neal, and I was like, God, I want to do that, you know? Thing is, you're 20 years old, you're in college, you're like, all right, so I tried at 18, and I was doing it for a little bit, and then I was scared, and I didn't pull the trigger, not scared of performing, scared I wasn't going to make money off it or like have a career. And I stopped at 19 years old, at 20 years old technically I stopped. I also always loved the idea of law enforcement. So at 21 I became a cop. You know, 5 years in I was like, you know what, I love this, but I kind of feel like I missed out on doing stand-up. So I started slow, you know, but being a cop and being a comic is very hard at the same time. Because you're always working weekends and nights and shit, you know? It's like when comedy is, you know?
Yeah.
So it was harder, but I was doing it. And then I got hurt for the last time, and then I was like, you know what? I can really just do this full time again. And that's what happened.
Huh. Interesting how that is. Makes me think of Pete Holmes. Do you see, you ever watch his show, Crashing?
Great show.
when it kicks off with his divorce, right? So your comedy career kicks off with getting hurt. This it's an HBO series. I can see it right now.